Favorite things about the fest is pretty damn easy to talk about. It's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people, pure and simple. And every single year, somebody comes from another country to the festival for the first time, and they get so turned on aesthetically. And I've gotten so many letters from people that said, wow, that changed my life. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know there was a group of people out there, and then all of a sudden I found out there was this amazing family, and everybody was really accepting and really loving, and it really is. It's the most supportive musical environment I've ever been in, and you know, I've been in the rock, funk, jazz, new wave, reggae, world beat, experimental, noise, goth industrial. I've been involved in all these different kinds of musical things in my career, communities. This is the single most loving, intelligent, creative, out-of-the-box, supportive community I've ever been in. So that's it. It's when someone gets that gleam in their eye when they get it, they get how wonderful it really is. That's the payoff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Totally the payoff. I loved this new way of making music, and it was brand new at the time in 1995 when I first started out. Nobody was doing it. And it had been done before, you know, it goes all the way back to the 60s with tape looping. But people didn't call themselves loopers. You know, Terry Riley was the first looper, technically, but he didn't think of himself as being a looper, and he also went on to do a lot of music and left looping behind. Robert Fripp was a looper, but again, he went on and did things like King Crimson where he wasn't doing looping. And for the first time, I began to think of myself as a live looping artist and identify that way. And there's an amazing website started by a man named Kim Flint, who I really want to give a shout out to, because none of this would have happened without Kim Flint. And he passed away a couple of years ago in a bicycle accident, unfortunately, so we really miss him. But anyway, so I started having some looping festivals right around the year 2000 in this area. And then in 2001, Steve Lawson came over from London, and we did the first bass looping festival. And when we did that, I suddenly realized, hey, we're international. Yeah. And so then what happened was in 2003, I got up my courage and I took the first solo tour I'd ever done in my entire life, because I've always been a backing musician in bands. Even when I led them, I was the drummer in the band. So I got up my courage and I posted one post on Looper's Delight. I said, I got a really lucrative seed gig in Italy. I'm coming to Europe. Is there anybody on this list who lives in Europe or in the UK who would want to do a small looping festival that I could play at? Would you be into organize something with loopers in your area? In under 2 weeks, I had a 2-month tour solidly booked, and I even had a subsidy from the Swedish government to do it. Unbelievable, blew my mind. So in that summer, I went to 8 countries and did small looping festivals there and sort of tried to seed that. Then in the interim years, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2008, 2012, 2013, I went back to Europe, and I went to Japan, and I went to Mexico, and I just, everywhere I went, I just tried to seed this idea of creating the community. And part of it was because I just loved what I was doing, and I love these people that I had met and become very good friends with, but only online, not met physically. Mm. And I wanted to meet them, and I wanted to play with them, and I wanted them to come here. So I just kept inviting people to come here, and when they would come here, invariably a few people every year would get really excited and want to go back and do something next year. As a matter of fact, the Mexican artists, Chian, are already talking about doing a looping festival in Guadalajara next year. So that's really exciting. Randolph Areola's talking about having a looping festival in Singapore.
That'll be the second one.
Yes, right. It would be the second one, right. And so anyway, I really sort of met this extended family. This festival's really intense. And you know, there's a lot of artists and playing, and so by the end of it, like today, I'm just really, really exhausted after the last 9 days of going to different cities and transporting people and playing and everything. It's been glorious, but also I had that warm, fuzzy feeling like my family's here. And every year my wife and I come in this living room when everyone's gone, and every year we cry. We were sponsored officially by Universal Audio and Looperlative. And then I was personally sponsored by Pigtronics.